When last we left off, Tempus ran ahead to the Temple of Sharrow while the party dragged Rhodes's burned body back to Ysmyr's cabin. And that's where they're going to start off today.
All right. I guess hobbling down the street and stuff when we finally get to the cottage. Ysmyr will take care about opening the door and just gesture the others in, like, okay, get him in here. Put him on the couch. Like, let's just deal with this.
All right. Okay, I've been looking over Rhodes' body. Like, they're stable, right?
Yes, Rhodes is stable, but his body is covered in burns.
Okay. I'm going to cast a Cure Wounds just to try and help out a bit.
Okay.
So that's
Rhodes,
10 for you.
That heals for 10 damage. Perfect. Or
Yaereene can cast one too. For not much.
Rhodes, lay quiet. You've been badly hurt.
Has Rhodes been conscious for the transportation?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought would have been in shock and not really. Okay, cool.
Well, he might be in shock, but he's at least awake. He's not unconscious.
Okay.
And now I'm assuming it was kind of like I was walked in between whoever helped carry me.
Yep.
Okay, so in that case, I will probably kind of like stumble my way to sit down in a chair and just sit very flabbergasted, very quietly. For once, Rhodes is speechless, does not know what to say.
I just kind of look around helpless and bewildered. It's like, there's just so much that's happened in just this last little bit. I mean, between Rhodes, you being struck by lightning, and I don't know if that was Tempus or something else hitting you.
What happened with the lightning?
I prayed to Tempus. I guess you could say I converted. I don't know what happened after that.
But was it didn't Tempus make it sound like Big Tempus struck him down?
Tempest shouldn't have struck you with lightning if you converted.
I don't know what happened. I know I prayed. So would I have heard anything from Sharrow as I prayed to Tempus?
No.
Okay, then my confusion stands.
And what do we do if Tempest does go full on berserk at the temple? I mean, there's some kind of menace to the north, and now all of a sudden we may be losing all the healing and all the people that can do something.
You're saying that like you expect him to win.
He's got the power of an actual god, but at the same time, so does the Archbishop. And the Archbishop may be a wee bit more practiced with it. So yeah, I take your point. I don't want him dead. He's a stupid but I don't want him dead.
He's not stupid.
He's reckless then. Is that better?
Yeah, that works.
Shouldn't we be going after him?
Well, you're in no shape.
Well, we kind of wanted to save you for a minute.
We had him stop for a bit, but then you became a crispy fried cleric.
Oh.
I guess completely unaware of his condition, I think Rhodes would probably start trying to stand and be like, well, we need to go. We need to go stop him.
I go over and as gently as I can put my hand on Rhodes' shoulders and push him back down. With me being freakishly tall, I should have leverage.
Considering Rhodes' condition, I'm not even going to resist that.
Yeah, everything hurts.
You have the ability right now of a beaten kitten. You're in no shape for anything, I'm afraid.
You argue the more important thing right now is to get to those clerics.
The more important thing right now is to make sure you're okay. And right now that doesn't look so promising.
No.
We tried with Tempus, and
there was no stopping him.
And short of full on fighting him, I don't know what else we could have done. And so we'll find out what happens. But let's get you dealt with first.
So, completely unaware of what he looks like right now, Rhodes is going to offer his most charming smile to Ysmyr and just kind of weakly go, well, I'm still breathing, aren't I?
And we like you that way, so we'll do our best to make sure you stay that way, you stupid git. Now hush. War leader, what the hell do we do? I mean, Rhodes does have a point, but at the same time, Rhodes is in no shape, and I don't know how many people we can afford to go hair and off and yet make sure Rhodes is taken care of. I mean, we all know that that church and the archbishop hold no love for me, so there's no sense in me leaving to go there, argue for Tempus.
I can go.
If you want to go, Yaereene, even just go find out what the aftermath is. Maybe that'll be worth it.
Ysmyr,
Yes?
you know, if you trust me to have learnt my lesson and not go banging about and leaping through a broken window, you might be good to go along with his Yaereene. And, you know, I'm sure that Rhodes and I can get to know each other a little bit better. And I still have enough skills and magic in me to make sure nothing goes awry.
I don't die that easy, and it sounds like they're going to need a level head. You two ladies should go.
Aye.
All right. Well, at least go see what the mess is.
If nothing else, because you are a respected member of the guard, Ysmyr, they will give you some weight to your words and not just simply be cut off and blown away.
All right. Yaereene?
Shall we go?
Okay.
So if you two need anything, I'm sure there's something in the house. Take a look.
Well, we haven't been here for a while, so most of the perishables will be spoiled. But I'm sure that Rhodes and I can find something to wet our whistles, if you will.
Should be fine.
Oh, I would love a good ale right about now.
Check
or,
the kitchen.
or 2 or 3, am I right?
Yaereene and Ysmyr, what are your passive perceptions?
11.
15.
As you're going to make your way out, Yaereene, you notice that there's a vase of flowers in the other room with a note on it. The flowers have long since wilted and died, leaving the note exposed.
Ysmyr, should we check that note before we go?
What note?
On the flowers, the dead flowers. And I'll point at them.
Ysmyr's very confused. Is going to walk over and take a look.
Okay. The note is from the city guard, and it's basically just saying that they take care of their own, and they were happy to put a pool together to repair your window upstairs.
Oh, perfect. Well, if Rhodes, if you want to be more comfortable, I guess the window in my guest room upstairs is fixed. Katira can get you up there.
Yeah, not a problem. I've got it. I know the way.
Sounds great. After a couple of beverages first.
Well, I was thinking that it'd give me a wee bit of exercise, but you know what? I think you need a beer in your hand to balance you out going up the stairs, don't you?
Balance is always better after a good drink.
Aye.
Well, at least your attitude isn't sullied. All right, Yaereene, let's go.
So KTR and Rhodes are going to have some company in a minute.
Say what?
Yeah, it's fine.
I have an idea who that might be.
It's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
All right.
So I popped you guys into the upstairs guest room.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way,
And-
I'm not taking one. I'm double fisting.
That's fine. Okay, Katiara and Rhodes, is there anything that you want to talk about while Yaereene and Ysmyr begin their journey?
Oh, I just start rambling, mostly about what Tempus is like and Harris is like, and just trying to present a different viewpoint rather than Tempus's, because I don't think she's gotten a better worldview of our team than what Tempus sees us at.
If nothing else, Rhodes will probably just encourage Katiara to talk about like himself and his story and the group.
I'll spend a lot of time about how Tempus fell, saving us all, and our journey up, because that'll end up explaining to Rose how and why I have neuralgia.
Yeah, I guess
So-
you guys have that in common, that you've got lingering fire injuries.
Yeah, if nothing else, we'll probably just commiserate in our misery.
Yeah, but if somehow things go right at that church, that bastard, I mean the High Lord Archbishop, could put us right as rain, and so there's something to hope for.
I mean, I might be in just as bad a boat as you. I haven't had a lot of nice things to say about the Archbishop either, so here's to hoping.
We clink our glasses and take two. I don't know about Rhodes, but I'm taking a long pull on this drink.
If Rhodes can drink comfortably without his injuries bothering him, then yes, he will also do so.
Nothing is comfortable.
Then it will be a slight sip.
Mm. Well, this is a bit of a situation, isn't it?
I suppose you could say that, but then I knew that was the risks when I went adventuring, as you want to call it.
Well, there's adventuring and there's trying to deal with the end of the world and stop it.
Is that not an adventure?
Uh, I would say that's the large economy size. I was looking for more, snack size.
I guess in either case, both of us could have just stayed home.
No, I couldn't have. But that's another story.
Agreed, and Rhodes will take another pitiful little sip to punctuate his agreement.
And I nod and I take another pull. But Tempus, for all his pig-headedness and making us all mad with worry, he does it because he's thinking he's doing the right thing, not because he's just being a jerk.
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but Tempus strikes me as a very simple individual, and by that I mean he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he is a very easy to understand person.
He's you'll excuse the crudeness, but we're all boys here. He's as subtle as a horse with a hard on.
No, you quite hit the nail on the head there. I definitely concur with that.
Yes. But his heart is golden. It's just the way he shows it. It looks like cheap brass to too many people.
No, it's I think I understand Tempus at least a little bit, even if he is bold in his statements and brash in his nature, his heart's in the right place.
I. He's picked up a lot of his ways from his mother. She's not exactly the subtle type.
You seem to know his mother quite well.
Uh, mm, uh, his mother has found me attractive and has decided that I'm a nice partner.
Rhodes is just going to take a moment to study Katira and think about what he knows of Tempus's lineage, and it's just going to show on his face that he is now undergoing the process of trying to imagine the logistics of how a physical relationship like that would work.
Strenuously.
That yes.
It's the top of my head and where it is doesn't really relate very much into the location she's most interested in.
So I'm going to assume Rhodes was in the middle of taking another very conservative sip and is now wearing majority of that conservative sip.
And I start laughing. And I go to slap him on the back, and then I go, "Oh, no, I can't do that."
Oh God, please don't. And so Rhodes is probably sputtering and coughing because even if he wanted to laugh, it doesn't feel great.
I'm sorry, lad. I thought a bit of a witticism would be a nice thing right now. I didn't mean to send you off into a spasm.
Oh, it's fine. I should have known better than to jump between gods like some ping pong ball.
Like Tempus?
No, it's not the god itself that I'm worried about so much as it is the rapidness.
Oh no, I meant the impetuousness.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with you there.
Yeah. Well, the funny bit is that though I haven't really converted yet.
So who's your god?
I think that was burnt away from me while I was at the college. My magic isn't based on a god.
So there's nobody that you just believe in, just cause?
I've lived so long that I know something's going on. And, by long, I'm talking about in human terms. As an elf, I'm pretty damn young, actually. And it's odd and it's kind of empty. But no, I something's something's turning the handle to keep the world moving. I don't know who it is. I just hope he don't stop. And I hope that there's something above Sharrow and Dowreth and all the other gods that we know, because they're, quite frankly, they're a bunch of stupid squabbling gits.
If I didn't believe that before, I think I certainly know now. Regardless if this happened because of Tempus or Sharrow, it feels a bit childish, don't you think?
There is such an element of take that you hurt me, so I'll hurt you. That's not godlike. That's a 3-year-old throwing a temper tantrum and lashing out.
If you were all powerful, wouldn't you act like a 3-year-old that's constantly having temper tantrums, constantly lashing out?
I like to think not. But then, everybody wants to think better of themselves than they are. They probably think they're majestic, imperial beings that know all and have an impartial view, and it's divine will that they go and strike that god down. I think it's a load of bollocks.
Kind of impetuous, like our friend the Archbishop.
Well, the Archbishop is all too human. So whether he's uh, following the tendency of Sharrow or whether he's just continuing his normal attitude and being selfish and preserving power rather than thinking of the good of all. But then I'm harsh. I don't like the man.
No, I think he is taking actions to save his own skin instead of thinking of the people he should be.
Aye, well, that's one thing we can agree on. Now, how you doing on that cup?
Rhodes has probably only drank about a quarter of it, and he reluctantly reaches over to set it down on some kind of solid surface and goes, I should probably switch to water, I think.
Oh, right, right. Well, I'll it, just wait right there. I'll get you. I'll bring up a flask and a glass so you've got enough. Or I, yeah, I don't think you'd like watered down beer. You're not that. So I stammer, then I go off downstairs and come back with a flagon and a glass for Rhodes to partake of water as much as he wants. And then I toss off the rest of my beer, and then I start on his. Can't have waste, can we?
Absolutely not. How do you think the ladies are making out?
Well, Yaereene's grown a lot since I first met her, being a little bit more able to speak for herself and do things. And she's got confidence. Ysmyr's smart. I like Ysmyr. I've let her down, and she's let me know in no subtle ways. But at the same time, she tries to do the best for us, and that's not an easy job. Between Tempus and me trying to hold Tempus in rein, and then all of a sudden I'm helping it and aiding and abetting them. It's she struggles, but she does the best. She's smart, she's capable. The two of them will be fine.
And Rhodes is gonna kind of smirk at Katira over his glass of water and just go, I suppose that's why she is the ruler of the elves and all that sort, right?
Well, I'm actually even beyond all the teasing and all that. I don't think that'd be such a bad thing. I mean, they certainly haven't shown me any great reason for the current dynasty to go on in charge. So I've seen her, and I trust her.
Perhaps once all this business with the gods is over with, maybe we should nudge her in that direction.
Well, if Tempus is still around, and I knock on wood, I don't think she'll have much choice.
Well, then I suppose she will need friends and counselors, both to keep her on track and to keep things with enough brevity for her.
Well, if nothing else, I can try and wait. Ooh, could my patron be the queen of the elves? Woo-hoo, I like that. All we need to do is save the world first. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just a little saving the world, a little zipping around here and there, and you're good to go. Then your patron's the Elven Queen. Easy peasy.
Not quite, but it does give even more incentive other than just struggling to survive. I like that. Thank you, Rhodes.
You're very welcome, Katiara.
Okay, just gonna switch gears for a few minutes here. Ysmyr and Yaereene, how are you guys getting to the Temple of Sharrow?
Well, we would still have the horses, so I think fastest way would be for us to take a couple of those and get going.
Okay. And are you just riding them normally, or are you going to be pushing them hard? Because they're kind of tired.
I think just normal for now. Just 'cause
We can't kill the horses.
Yeah.
That's-
And I don't think we're going to get there in time to stop anything. So
Okay.
Fast as they can normally go, basically. We'll watch their health and pay attention to that, but
So you guys are riding along through the city, and Katiara, you hear from down below a knock at the door.
Is Rhodes still awake?
I feel like he might have nodded off after a bit.
Okay. I quietly go out of the room, shut the door, then I make my way downstairs. My hand is on my longsword, and I just stand to one side of the door and I say, "Who is it?"
It's Master Clarion from the alchemist's shop. I'm here to speak with one Ysmyr, Queen of the Elves.
Oh, Ysmyr. Yes, this is her house. However, she is on her way to the temple.
Ah, I see.
Is there anything specific you're looking for?
Yes, would it be possible to speak with you with an open door, sir?
I hope you not take offense, but I have my hand on my sword, and I open the door. And I say, if you do want, you can come in and take a seat, or you can speak from there. I've never met you before, and with the craziness going on, I hope you will apologize for the rudeness.
Understood. There is a great deal of insanity in the city at present, and you're, well.
I'm Katiara.
A pleasure to meet you. I have done business with this Ysmyr, Queen of the Elves, before. She has been a patron of my shop, buying potions for, I assume, you and your party. I have, how to phrase this gently. One of your party members was in my shop very recently
Tempus.
and suggested that I should come here for payment from his war leader.
Ooh, aye. And what is the amount that Tempus put on the tab, shall we say?
Well, he took 2 flasks of oil as well as a full barrel of oil. Now, there is some small deception on my part. He did not look over what I gave him very carefully, so I did not give him my most potent flammables, since he admitted that he was going to burn down the Temple of Sharrow. And of course, I could not allow such a thing to happen with oils purchased from my shop. So I gave him oil indeed, but it was closer to cooking oil rather than flaming oil. So if he did light himself on fire or try to cause some explosion, it would have failed spectacularly.
So,
However, there is still some cost involved in such things.
by admitting that it was deceptive, I would say that there should be a kind of discount. So, like, not only shouldn't have to pay the cost of lamp oil, but because you substituted an inferior product, knowing that you are doing so, I would say that that's at least 20% off the cost of cooking oil. Wouldn't you?
Very well. I'll take payment of a single gold piece for the oil.
But you know what? Let me give you 2. One for the cost, and the other gold piece for being forthright and honest, and also being the first person to come to me and acknowledge that Ysmyr is indeed my queen, and for that I wish to give you honor. Thank you.
Well, I did wish to speak with Ysmyr about this matter because the party member of yours appeared to be quite confused about the lineage of elven royalty. So I do wish to speak with her.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm certain that you can. But as I said, she's on her way to the temple, and there's a certain. You may be able to speak to her before we have to leave the city to deal with the menace to the north. So that's a thing as well. But okay, take a look at me. Do I look like I would know something about elven lineage and royalty?
Honestly, I don't know anymore. Do you? Do you understand the way the kings of the north and the queens of the south work?
What I understand is that it has been pointed out to me, and as a lover of the old tales and one that seeks always for the old customs, the old ways, the old songs, um, I I give credence to it. It makes sense to me. That's why I do acknowledge her as my queen.
Hmm. Well, according to your friend, she is claiming to be Queen of the North, and no such thing exists or ever has existed. So I find the claim to be rather dubious, and there may be some who would consider it worse than that and seek to unseat her.
Well, you got to remember, he's an orc, so he may be confused in uh, declaring what she is queen of, but that she is queen, no, no, I'm, that is not up for debate. All right, DM, I remember there was a spiel about it that made sense. So, like, I'm not bluffing. I truly believe this.
Okay. Um, yeah, there won't be a roll required here because he simply doesn't believe it's possible that an elven queen can come from the lineage of the North. And there's no way to persuade him otherwise. He is rather steeped with tradition in this sense. So, when you mention that you're going to continue north, he says, "Oh, are you planning on leaving the city soon? Then,
Well, a lot of it depends on what's going on at the temple, doesn't it? Um, Now, there's something going on, and we seem to be the ones that have been tagged to take care of it. So, to make sure that everybody can be safe and protected, we're throwing our lives on the line, eh?
I see. Well, then, I have some other things that I need to take care of. I will be back uh, to speak with Ysmyr when she returns."
Certainly. And your name again? I'll jot down. Because
Calarian.
Calarian. All right. So I'll make sure that she knows, and that way, if we do have time, or we can make the time to go by your shop, since she has dealt with you before, she'll know where it is. On our way out to get it to put your mind at rest.
Very good, thank you, sir.
What a good day to you.
And he turns and heads off to the west.
And I just slump, and I'm like, "Oh my God, Tempus! I hope we can back up your words." Oh my God.
I mean, you already did by, like, saying that you believe in it, so thanks, bud.
Uh, I'm more about everything that you're doing on your way to the temple.
Nope, too late. Romy's got two people to be mad at now, not just me.
I'd like to point out I'm with Ysmyr and haven't done anything yet.
Yet.
Yeah, I can't make promises.
Oh,
It's become her job to talk and clean up all the messes you guys make, so what's this any different?
I don't consider this a mess at all, but a challenge to your ascension.
At least she's in blissful unawareness right now.
Enjoy it while you can.
So KTR, is there anything else that you're doing right now?
I am just with this news. I just kind of have a feeling that if Tempest has already poached one guy threatening to burn down the temple, I'm envisioning that he's getting more than just this one guy's supplies. So I finish off this beer, I go get myself another one, and I just sit down looking at that door, waiting for the next.
Can you give me a perception check, please?
Sure.
So while you're sitting there waiting for the other shoe to drop,
Mm-hmm.
you note that you see Calarian go to the corner of the street where he stops to speak to a couple of city guards, shows them his hand where he still holds the coins that you gave him, and points directly at Ysmyr's house. You can see that there are other shopkeepers that you recognize there as well. There's a Shalariel and another one that you don't, another elf that you don't recognize. Yeah, they're discussing something rather animatedly.
Let me just see. Okay, let's see. With my studded leather, do I have disadvantage on stealth?
Nope.
Alright, Is there any other doorway in this house that I can find that leads outside but isn't the front door?
No, she only has the one door and a couple of windows that do open.
And have been broken.
No, it was fixed upstairs. That was the note, remember?
Yeah, all the windows are fine now.
And I'm not going to break another one. Okay, I'm going to go back upstairs. Now, is it 2-story or is this just a bedroom in the back?
It's 2-story.
Okay. So I make my way up to where Rhodes is. Is Rhodes still snoozing?
Yep.
Okay. I go back down and lock the door.
Okay.
Thank you. I lock the door. Is there any other windows on ground level that aren't in the view of the people?
The one at the back of the house in the kitchen area isn't viewable from where they are.
Okay, and that's that window?
That's right.
Okay, so, and it can be opened, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I go to that window, I open it up, I go out, shut the window, or at least bring it down just so that it's barely snug, so I can just kind of flip it back open.
Okay.
And then I try to stealth. Come on, be good to me. All right, that's what I got, and I don't know any better. And I try and slink around the walls and get to the corner of the house and peek out to where I had seen the people gathered.
Okay.
Now,
So there is a house right beside Ysmyr's, so you'll have
Right.
to go up to the road.
okay. And I just kind of peek around, trying not to give myself away. And am I close enough that I can overhear? Oh, and I've got my beer in my hand still.
No, you're still quite some distance from where they're standing.
Okay. When I take a look, is there any way for me to use stealth going in between buildings, going back and forth as quietly as I can to get close enough to start overhearing them?
You think so? Yeah. If you go, like, there's space between the buildings. Like all of the houses are fairly tightly packed in the city,
Yeah.
but there is space that you could get between them and go behind them to get closer to the corner where they're standing.
Okay. And I do make sure that I have my purse on me. And so, like, I just want to slink close enough that I can hear and try and get an idea of how many people and how much money is being claimed.
Okay. I need another stealth check.
Certainly. If only I could cast guidance. Yeah.
Okay. So you get to a building that's as close as you feel comfortable, and you sneak up to the corner to give a listen. Can you give me a perception check?
Certainly. Booyah.
You creep up to the corner and you tilt your head to give a listen, and you hear someone say, "Hey, isn't that half elf bard that hangs around with Ysmyr?"
All right. I just start striding forward and I say, well, I saw there was a discussion here and I wanted to listen in a bit before I came out, but, since you saw me, there's no sense trying to give a listen. Now, I assume that as my first guest to the house has told you that I reimbursed him for what Tempus had taken. in the name of Ysmyr, keeping things counted. Now, please do aware that I don't have the entire purse of the party. So if I could hear what you guys had, what Tempus procured on tab, shall we say, I'd be willing to take note, take records, and pay in full if I can, and if not, show goodwill in paying what I can out of my purse at this time to show you that all is right and all will be taken care of. At the same time, as I'm sure he will have told you, I'm not a ninny and I do know business. So trying to inflate and the cost, I won't put up with. So, shall we begin?
One of the city guards steps forward, and I don't think you've had any dealings with him before.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my good man?
He says, hello.
Hi.
I'm Chief Bran Coldson. So, essentially what you're saying is you will reimburse these shopkeepers for the items that Tempus took to conduct an attack of terrorism against Nordgard?
Well, I wouldn't say it's an attack of terrorism, because if you take a look at it, the Church of Sharrow is refusing to involve itself in the defense of the city. So I would just say he's trying to supply a very, very good argument to them that instead of putting their own skins first and letting the rest of the city go to hell, including you poor bastards on the guard, that they should be part of the full effort and protect the city as well as the guard who will protect the city. Don't you think you deserve to be protected and thought of as something more than just something to be thrown away?
He stares at you with slow, blinking, dull eyes before turning to the other town guards there. And he says, "You heard him admit it as much as I did. Book him." And the town guards proceed to grapple you to the ground.
You don't have to do that, you silly bastard. I'm not resisting.
They do it anyway.
Oh, you big old man, just get the little elf. You just take the poor gangly elf, throw him down on the ground and roll about. Oh, you're so tough. Yeah, buggers.
Make sure you gag them too. And they shove a gag in your mouth and bind your hands.
I'm
And
glaring at that damn shopkeep.
and they take you away off to jail.
I am busy fixing every one of their features in my face so I can talk with Ysmyr.
Well, that was an unanticipated turn.
I'm actually not surprised.
All right. Rhodes, you are awoken from a short rest by a knock at the front door.
So Rhodes is going to wake up and kind of like look blearily around for Kitiara and start to roll out of bed and call for Kitiara's name.
There is no response.
Then, very slowly, Rhodes will make his way down to the door, and unsuspecting, I guess I should add.
Okay.
And confused as to why the door is locked, Rhodes will proceed to unlock the door and like open it wide and just stare very blearily at the person on the other side, looking still very, very rough thanks to all the fourth degree burns.
Okay. So you recognize Chief Bran Coldson as he stands at the door. He fought alongside you and the rest of the soldiers defending Nordgard from the undead. You know him as a slow speaker, but he's not dumb. He is just very particular with his word choice and thinks things through very carefully as he's saying them. And he nods to you and says, "Hello, I'm Chief Bran Coldson. I'm here to arrest Ysmyr for aiding and abetting a terrorist in the city of Nordgard. Is she in?
Can't say that she is. Why is she a terrorist?
Well, this is difficult for me to say. We have proof that she has been funding illegal activities in the city that would threaten the well-being of the citizens and infrastructure. I can't go into all of the details because there will be a trial, of course, to determine the extent of the problem. But I assume that you know Ysmyr. I have a few questions I'd like to ask you about her.
Yeah, of course, but can I ask one first? I'm a little confused right now.
Your question can wait. Is Ysmyr claiming to be the queen of the elves?
Oh man, I want to answer this wrong. Um, Rhodes is kind of look and shake his head and be like, "Oh no, that's a prank we all started. Ysmir's never claimed a thing."
I see. So do you claim that she is the queen of the elves?
Where she can hear me, because I'm trying to get under her skin, but it's not something I've ever publicly declared.
I see. The problem is that there is somebody who knows her who has been publicly declaring her as Queen of the Elves. And according to a historian here in Nordgard, the claim is false and could never be true. So we're a little bit alarmed by these claims and believe that she is trying to disrupt the normal running of the city and usurping the council. So we will be waiting here for her return, and we will take her in when we see her. If you would like to offer a character witness during her trial, you are more than welcome.
Uh, yeah, of course. I don't suppose you need my company here, do you?
Not for the time being.
So you wouldn't mind if I stepped out and went home?
By all means.
Thank you very much, sir. And Rhodes is going to collect any of his things that he might be missing and very quietly limp his way away from the house.
Okay.
I don't suppose there are any horses left behind or anything like that, is there?
Oh yeah, yeah. Each of you had a warhorse, and yours is still there.
Cool. Rhodes will attempt to very pitifully and yeah, no, it's gonna be pitiful whether he tried to milk it or not. He's gonna very pitifully climb on this warhorse and calmly walk it away from Ysmyr's towards where he said he's going.
Okay. Can you give me an animal handling check at disadvantage?
Oh boy.
Yeah, this horse is acting like it doesn't know you at all and doesn't want to go with you. It's digging in its hooves and refusing to move.
I'm probably not gonna fight with this horse for very long. If the horse isn't gonna come with me, I'm just gonna bail off and keep walking. Uh, keep walking to the point where I'm at least out of eyesight.
Okay.
And as soon as I am sure nobody's looking, I'm gonna make my way for the temple.
All right. Sounds good. Oh boy. Okay, so I think up next will be Ysmyr and Yaereene. You guys are riding through the streets towards the temple when you come across Tempus and Yuri. Tempus looks like he's been beaten nearly to death, and Yuri is just kind of gingerly walking along beside him, looking up at Tempus, and all around them. One of you will have good enough insight to know that he looks rather nervous as he's walking with Tempus.
Tempus! And Yaereene will jump off of her horse and rush to him and cast Cure Wounds.
But can you get there before I sweep you up in a big ol' hug?
I don't know, she might cast it through her lips.
Well, I accept the 11 HP. Thank you very much. And yes, big hug in the middle of the street.
Yep, sounds good. You're alive, what happened?
Oh, I messed up. I messed up real bad, Yaereene, but it's so good to see you. I'm sorry.
I'm just glad you're safe. What happened?
Well, I lost. I lost everything. I tried my best and Tempus was banished. They sent him away back to where he came from. I'm not possessed anymore.
Are you okay?
No, I'm I'm not okay. There is too much and I have done so much wrong. And Tempus will get down on one knee and say, Yaereene, will you forgive me?
Yes.
Thank you, I can die happy.
No dying.
Well, we'll see. But would you you need to put on some earmuffs and I'll mime covering my ears.
She's totally confused and will do it.
I'll turn to Yuri and say, all right, Yuri, in exchange for you telling Ysmyr everything you told me about destroying god artifacts and such, I want to thank you, and you can have my body if Ysmyr kills me. But you have to let, Yaereene cut off any pieces that she wants as a keepsake, okay?
Okay.
Just don't turn me into, a great big, uber undead with 50 other bodies. That just seems gross to me, okay?
Well, I don't actually know how to do that anyway, so sure, no problem.
Okay, great. And then Tempus is going to start stripping off. It'll take a minute for me to doff my armor, but yeah, taking off all my possessions and piling it in front of me in the street.
Ysmyr, can you give me, or Ysmyr and Yaereene, can you guys give me perception checks?
Nope.
Ysmyr says no. No. With a roll of a 1, you can't. But, Yaereene, so Ysmyr, you're kind of distracted by Tempus and his shenanigans. Well, Yaereene, you note that there is a crowd of people coming from the temple in the north, following Tempus at a distance. You do recognize one of them as Gorold.
I will tug on Ysmyr's sleeve and Ysmyr,
What?
and I'll point to the oncoming crowd.
Counselor Yuri, what is going on?
Oh, well, we had a little bit of excitement at the Temple of Sharrow, I suppose you could say.
I've no doubt about that. But why is there a crowd following you?
Oh, no idea.
Great. Is the crowd coming close, or what's going on?
They appear to be hanging back. They're not continuing to walk forward, but you do see them sort of alternating, looking down the road towards you guys as they're talking amongst themselves.
Okay. She's actually going to approach someone and just be like, how come you're all gathered right now?
Gorold speaks for the assembled group. And says, well, we want to see what happens to old Tempus there. Should be good. Walking into a temple threatening everybody's lives. It'll be glorious. Helena here is probably going to write a great song about it when it's all over.
Yaereene is glaring daggers at him.
And you do hear while you're talking the beautifully played tune of Gorold the Great coming from Helena as she stands behind him.
Right. Makes sense, I suppose. All right, she's gonna turn back. All right. So was a guard. Tempus, I think it's best you turn yourself into the city guard.
Nope. The city guard is in the same camp as Sharrow. They ain't shit but hoes and tricks. I'm turning myself into you, and with that I'll finish putting all of my belongings in a pile. I will douse myself with the remaining canisters of oil. And
I will stop him from dousing himself if possible.
And I will kneel as Yaereene wrestles me for the oil. I failed. And what's worse, I failed after having betrayed you. And I am here now to face your judgment as my war leader, and I will accept whatever you declare to be a just punishment and no less than I deserve. And then Tempus will begin telling her everything that he did, starting with going to the market and getting goods. And I'm totally going to say that one of the ways I let you down is I disobeyed your instruction not to tell people that you are the queen. I figured that it was the only way to get the people to unite behind you in order to evacuate the city, and I'm sorry to have disobeyed you in that regard. And he'll talk about his assault on the temple, and he'll say that I did my best to try and avoid killing the clerics, but Tempus let loose a great blast of magic, and I fear that 4 clerics may have lost their lives, whatever my attempts to convert them. And I'm sorry to have failed you there. And then he will go on to explain his last few moments with Tempus in the realms of Limbo, and then say, and what's worse, I may have doomed Rhodes by drawing Rhodes to a faith that is now under attack. Tempus is now going to be vulnerable to the machinations of Sharrow, and I drove Rhodes to it, and I'm sorry, and most of all, I'm sorry for attacking the warband and fighting you, and if you want to set me on fire and be done with me, I accept your judgment, whatever it might be.
Yaereene is throwing pleading looks at Ysmyr not to set him on fire.
Oh, also, Yaereene, earmuffs.
Ah! And she throws her hands over her ears.
I also may have spoken for some of the party's funds by going to Yareene's parents and offering to end the war. So her dad might be dropping by looking for some gold. Sorry about that, too.
Right now, Ysmyr is just standing silently and looks like she's really struggling to school her expression neutrally. Well, Tempus, as a member of the city guard that you so hate, and your actions threatening the city and its temple, I have no choice but to arrest you and take you in for judgment. And with that, I don't know if she has anything right now, but she will, if she has a rope or something, she will bind his hands in front of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll wave at his pile of possessions and say, you may, of course, take all of my effects to settle any of the debts that I have accrued in the warband's name. Except my sword. You can't have my sword, and I'm going to hold my sword in front of me in my bound hands.
I can't let you keep it.
But it's mine. It's the only weapon I can ever use. You can't take it away from me.
Can she try and pull it away?
That would be an opposed grapple check if Tempest is going to oppose it.
I mean, I think he has to.
He does have bound hands, though.
Is that enough to cancel out my natural advantage on athletics? Do you want me to just make a straight roll, make a disadvantage roll?
Straight roll.
Oof.
All right. Ysmyr, you try to go for his sword, and he manages to pull away and not let you get hold of it.
Ysmyr, it's mine. I can't give it up.
Guess we'll deal with that at the guardhouse. Counselor, would this be a problem for you, or are you joining us anyway?
Well, he looks up at Tempus. I had been planning on finding a town guard along the way to apprehend Tempus, so this works quite well.
What? You said you were coming with to tell Ysmyr all of the super important stuff that you told me.
Yes, well, I lied, didn't I?
Oh, that's pretty tricksy of you. I forgive you.
Thank you, Tempus. Very glad to hear it.
Well then, shall we?
Yes, indeed.
And, Counselor, would you be able to fill me in on everything else that Tempus couldn't fill me in on? Because clearly I have a very large mess to fix.
Certainly.
And with that, she'll just start taking everyone towards the guardhouse or wherever she would need to take Tempus.
You guys arrive at the city guard barracks, and head downstairs into the main jail area, where you find a couple of city guards sitting at a table rolling dice, and they look up at you confusedly. Say, yes?
I've brought Tempus Twiceborn in for attempting to burn down the Temple of Sharrow.
Well, good work. We'll take him in from here. And Tempest, you go peacefully with the city guards?
I'll look at Ysmyr. Does she tell me to go peacefully?
Yes, and I'll come talk to you later.
Well, if that's what you want. Sorry. And yeah, I'll go peacefully, as long as they don't touch my sword.
Yeah, they don't appear to be making any move for your sword.
Yeah, then I'll go peacefully where they tell me to.
Okay. Guard takes you to a very small prison cell. KTR, at this point, you hear sounds of people walking around outside your cell, and then they shove the door closed, and you hear it lock, and guards' footsteps sound as they walk away.
Okay, are these open doors or closed doors? Like, I mean,
Locked.
are they? Is it like a traditional prison bar door, or is it a solid door?
It's a solid door.
He didn't say anything in this entire time, did he?
Nope.
Hey, you there? Do you know what's going on in the city?
Quiet down there, prisoner.
Do I still have my loot with me?
Yep.
Okay, I start playing the song I did for Tempus at the wrestling match.
Okay. Give me a performance check.
And I'm just playing it. I'm not singing the words.
Sure.
Meh.
Yep. Tempus, you can hear through your door the sound of the song that KTR played during your wrestling match at the mule shop.
So I'm in a cell, but I've got my sword and I'm naked and oily?
Yep.
Am I by myself in this cell?
You certainly are.
Oh, okay. So, well, if I can hear it, then I'm just going to yell really loud, like, "Hey, is that Tiara?"
Do I hear him?
Yeah, you can hear him.
Hi, it's me. How are you?
I'm good. Ysmyr said that she wanted to arrest me, so I surrendered to the guard. But, oh boy, Tiara, we're in trouble. I lost Tempus. Gorold beat me up real good. I may have been going around telling everybody Ysmyr is a queen, so she probably didn't appreciate that.
I know that.
But there is some good news.
Which is?
Oh, Yaereene kissed me, where she still isn't mad at me, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good, buddy. Yeah, well, they're saying that you're a terrorist trying to burn down the temple, trying to convince those stupid assholes to actually defend the city. So,
It's a terrorist.
terrorist is somebody who does something horrible, killing a lot of people for to make a political point.
That sounds pretty accurate, actually.
Don't say that. Don't ever say that again. They'll use it against you in court.
Well, I mean, it's kinda true.
Tempus, look above. Remember what I just said. Learn, do it. Okay?
I don't get it.
Thank you. Now, is there another song you'd like me to play while we wait to go before the judge and get this straightened out?
How about Gorold the Great? It talks about me in pretty dope ways if you think about it. I'm just going around causing trouble and sleeping with everybody.
I hate that song with a blinding passion.
Really? Okay.
Don't you realize it's mocking you and it's doing the exact opposite of everything that... Ugh. Please, another song.
I mean, it kind of misses the point then. I totally got away with those mules, and the song claims that I'm sleeping with everybody, which, I mean, that's pretty complimentary, but whatever. Do you know any Orcish tunes?
I think I would have spent some time trying to learn some tunes that Harris liked to play for her. So I'd pick one of those and start doing my best to replicate it on a lute, which is mainly probably a droning string and using complicated taps for a rhythm.
Well, if it's anything like the songs that I listened to in my childhood, Tempus probably falls asleep in his cell, like, cuddled up to his sword.
Give me a performance check, Katera. Yeah, you do a decent job of replicating sounds despite not having the best instrument to play it.
Do you snore really loud?
I don't think so.
Okay, if nobody's told you, and then you're not in a state of denial. Okay.
All right. Oh boy. Let's see. We've got everybody here at the jail. Oh wait, I haven't pulled Tempus over yet. Rhodes. Eventually, you do get to the temple.
I'm guessing I don't cross paths with anybody at all.
You sure don't.
I wouldn't have noticed like any commotions or crowds or anything.
Nope.
Cool.
Nope. You get to the temple, and everything seems calm and quiet here.
I go to find a cleric that I might have at least known in passing to ask what had happened, or if anything happened.
I'm just going to pull you to the temple here. Okay. You get to the temple. The door's closed. And yeah, what you going to do?
I'm gonna go knock on the door.
The door opens, and you see a badly injured paladin standing at the door. He appears to have burn marks on his body. His hair is completely singed off. And he looks at you wearily and says, "Yes."
Rhodes is gonna take a moment to look at the cleric and try to see past him a little bit if he can, and just ask, I see you did not have a great day.
"No, but please enter the temple. We can speak inside."
Of course. And so Rhodes will step in, probably like very weary from having walked all of this way with his injuries.
When you come in, you can see that there are several figures who appear in the same state as the paladin who greeted you, and there are wrapping cloths around dead bodies around the temple.
What happened here?
A half-orc named Tempus brought the god Tempus against us, as the archpriest prophesied. It was terrible to behold his power, but the archpriest managed to banish Tempus, the god, from our realm, and saved the faith, although we do have losses.
Of course, I'm sorry I wasn't here.
Even if you were, there's little that anyone could have done. He simply stormed in past the guards and unleashed fury upon us all. You would have only been hurt along with the rest of us.
So when he says I would have only been hurt, I'm just gonna stare at him because I probably look just as badly burnt, if not more.
Yes, well, you have received magical healing, so it's hard to ascertain the age of your wounds, just that you still do look
Okay.
burned on the outside.
I mean, I would assume that my clothes also look pretty rough.
That's true. Yeah. Right. Okay. He recognizes the irony in his words and shakes his head and says, "Sorry. Of course, we've all had a difficult time recently."
Of course. And they left? He left? You didn't see which way he happened to go or what happened when he left?
Councilman Yaereene escorted him out of the temple after Tempus the god was banished. We have since been dealing with the dead. We haven't had a chance to worry about where they went to.
Of course. I suppose with the sights of everything here, it would be too much to ask for some proper healing, wouldn't it?
I can tell you that right now all of our healers are sapped of their strength. We have spent all of our healing spells healing the wounded from the battle against the undead, and then Tempus came, and we still haven't recovered from our injuries from that battle. The archpriest did not prepare any healing spells today, for he was prepared to use all of his power to battle against Tempus if need be. But he has assured us that tomorrow he will pray for healing spells to aid those he can, including Counselor Horace Dameline, who is dead, and he points at a dead body up near the sanctuary.
I see. And how did the Archbishop fare? Did he need all of that effort into offense that he couldn't spare any for the healing of his own people?
Well, he claims he was lucky, and the first spell that he cast was effective in getting rid of Tempus. So, no, he didn't need all of his spells that he prepared, but he had quite the repertoire in case Tempus was more resistant to his magic than he thought.
Of course. You wouldn't have happened to have seen the direction with which Counselor Yaereene took Tempus?
No, I've been praying over the dead since he left. I don't think anyone here was watching where they went. I know the soldiers who were in the temple at the time left to follow, but I don't know where they went.
Did anybody see which direction they took?
Nobody here did. No.
My thanks. I don't suppose it would be too presumptuous to arrive on the morrow to see if I could receive some proper healing then, would it?
No, of course. I imagine there are many who need proper healing, but if you come and the Archpriest is able, you will receive healing, of course.
Of course. There's a few more things I want to, I guess, figure out. If it doesn't take all day, I will gladly come back in the evening and offer my services of aid however I can.
Thank you. May Sharrow bless you.
Yes, thank you. And with that, Rhodes is going to turn to leave and try to figure out where to go.
Okay. Back to the jail. Ysmyr and Yaereene, what would you like to do now that you have brought Tempus into justice?
Yaerene's going to be frantically asking Ysmyr what we're doing. How can we leave them there? Did we ever hear Kitiara is there?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure whether his song would carry or not.
No, there's several closed doors between you and him and quite some distance.
So Ysmyr, what are we doing?
Dealing with this? I don't know anymore.
Oh, okay, but when are we going to take Tempus with us?
Yaereene, it's not so simple. He threatened the city, and I can't just talk him out of it. People saw it, so I am trying. He has to stay in jail, and if we can figure out a way that gets him out, but the best I can think of is hope that his punishment is banishment.
What? But he was trying to help.
Not in everyone's eyes. It's not what they're going to see.
So we have to show them.
And I need to figure out how to argue that case. But he's also dug up me in a hole. Did you hear what he told everyone?
The queen thing?
That's one part of it. So he left a huge mess and I need to clean it up. And right now I don't know how.
Is there anything I can do?
I don't know. I really don't know. If you were, I don't know, more active with your family, maybe you'd have some pull, but I don't think that's going to work in our favor right now.
Well, they kind of disowned me, so
Yeah.
I don't know if they want to talk to me right now.
Great. So I think our best bet is to keep talking with the counselor and just hope he's on our side and understands that where we're coming from.
Okay.
Well, Yuri is there with you, if you do want to talk with him.
Yeah. So after dropping Tempus off and talking with Yaereene, Ysmyr will approach the counselor again. So, counselor, what are our next steps? I'm assuming you heard everything Tempus told everyone. So, if you have questions, I guess ask them now.
Well, not sure there's much for me to ask you at this point. Queen Ysmyr, and he quirks an eyebrow at you.
Oh, please don't do that.
Well, according to what I have heard, Tempus has been telling everyone that you are Queen of the North, so I would expect some consequences to that. I can tell you that the people on the council wouldn't be happy to hear that there's someone claiming to be Queen of the Elves when you have so many elves living in this ancient elven city. It leaves a rather poor taste in our mouths, for we do not bow to any king or queen here, strictly a council. Although we are down one member for the time being, and we haven't seen, of course, a fifth counselor for quite some time. Not even sure if he's alive anymore. What with the undead invasion?
Tempus mentioned you knew how to destroy artifacts.
Oh, yes. I have some ideas. You won't particularly like them, of course. Artifacts are terribly difficult to destroy. What artifacts are these that you're looking to destroy anyway?
I'll glance at Ysmyr.
Well, you recall when I last spoke in front of the council, one of the times we had discussed going to Daystar Lake because we were told there might be some artifacts that we could use to defend the city.
Yes.
Oh, it's more complicated than that in that they are powerful artifacts, but if they fall in the wrong hands, they could be absolutely devastating, and it would be safer to be rid of them. But we had also received a letter saying that they should be put back where they belong. So it's a huge, complicated matter.
Oh, yes. That you must be speaking of the Daystar then.
Ah, yes.
Yes, we received that letter.
Perfect. Then we received it too, but the situation being what it is, we couldn't head straight north to put it back.
I see. Well, according to that letter, it was of the utmost importance that it be left in place. So you have it now?
We have it now because we received the letter too late.
Well, then I would strongly recommend returning it at your earliest convenience.
I agree. But now it's not looking very promising that I'll have the opportunity to do that, because the situation Tempus created being what it is.
I see. Well, that is a rather tricky situation. I would offer to take it myself, but as I am on the council and there is a trial coming forthwith, I'm afraid I would be unable to do so. That is quite the pickle you're in.
Without a doubt. I'm going to tell you this, though. We still need Tempus because he's the only person I've seen who can be totally unaffected by it.
Truly.
If someone's going to put it back, it would be him.
I see. That is rather alarming, I suppose.
In a lot of ways, yes. But that's a key fact that I believe in whatever decision is made that would need to be considered.
Well, thank you for that information. Definitely do bring it up during the trial. I don't know that it'll sway everybody on the council, but it might help. I certainly don't think it would hurt.
Well, I understand if the council has doubts about me, but all I've ever wanted to do is protect the city, protect the people, and I hope you all recognize that.
I've seen the good work that you've done. I don't doubt that you believe what you're saying is true. However, the council is made up of more than just me, so you will need to work to convince a majority.
I understand that. Well, short of that, I don't know what else to do. So, I suppose I'd better prepare for a trial?
Yes, I would suggest that. Think about possible defenses. I will tell you that you should not claim that he is insane, because that will simply lead to a lifelong incarceration. But it might be preferable to death, as that is the usual punishment for treason.
Right. Well, thank you. Thank you, counselor.
You're welcome. And If you do wish to come back to my tower to collect some of your things that you left there, including your ornery mule, I would appreciate it.
Right, I suppose we can go do that and get it back to my place at least. We were in a tough situation prior. Had to stop another attack from the west, so.
I understand, but I'd rather not be storing powerful magical artifacts and such, especially with followers of Dowreth around and undead and whatnot.
I completely understand. Yaereene, perhaps we can go collect that now.
Okay.
Yeah, and if Yaereene wants to talk on the way, we can talk on the way.
Shizaka's just going to be trying to figure out a way to save Tempus because the whole, death and banishment thing seems pretty bad from her perspective.
Completely fair.
Okay, so Rhodes, where would you have gone to start looking for the other people in your party?
I suppose I would go to see if there was any bystanders by the temple to see if I can also ask them if they had seen the people I am looking for leave or anything. I wouldn't word it like that. It would be like if there was anything peculiar that had happened and where the people who are involved would have went.
Okay. You do find some commoners in the street who saw the counselor heading south with a half orc who appeared to have been pretty bloody, and beaten.
Then I suppose I will start my pursuit south, and every so often, if I see bystanders, I will probably ask them a similar question to try and start narrowing down where I should be going south, or also to find an account of what happened and what I missed.
Okay. As you continue south, you do run into a bard playing a song about Tempus, and how he attacked clerics in the temple and killed them. And you can see that the bard has several people around them, all talking in hushed tones and gasping sometimes through the song. And the bard sends them south, telling them that Tempus is going to jail and will pay for his crimes against Nordgard.
Perfect. Then I will start towards the jail.
Okay. By the time you get there, Ysmyr and Yaereene are just coming out.
Ah, there you are. You would think trying to find anyone in this city wouldn't be so bloody hard.
And at this point, you do note that there is a crowd gathering around the city guard barracks, and they appear to be quite riled up and angry.
I'm assuming I can gather that this crowd is there because of the lovely songs about Tempest that are being spread throughout the city.
Yeah, you definitely get that.
Got it.
What? Why are you here? You should be resting.
Well, it's either I come find you, get arrested, or stay sleeping in a house full of guardsmen. Take your pick.
Pardon?
I don't know how much I have to catch you up on. It seems you have more to catch me up on, but there is a warrant for your arrest for impersonating royalty.
Tempest.
If you were to stay anywhere in this city, I would advise it be an inn and not your home. There are guards there waiting for you.
Could this get any worse? Great. Well, I just arrested Tempest, so I don't know how that's gonna go over.
Yeah, I had mostly gathered that part. I don't think I quite put together what happened to Katiara. He was not there when I woke up.
He was not there. Okay.
I woke up to knocking on the door for yours truly, the guardsman looking to arrest you.
Great. Just great. Yaereene, any guesses?
Well, it's weird that Katiara to leave you when you were not feeling so well.
He was definitely there when I went to sleep. I would just like to preemptively put in that any time that I had referred to you as Elven royalty, I hope you know it was to get under your skin and not as an honest proclamation. But I'm thinking that might be why you're in trouble, because some people might have taken it a little seriously at some coaxing on my behalf. So I would just like to give you the heartfelt apology now and clear the air before anything can get worse.
I'm confused. Are you or aren't you?
It's complicated, and this is why when I first explained it to you for out in the forest, I asked you to keep it to yourselves.
I didn't tell anyone else.
No, you didn't. But there are 2 others who couldn't.
I would just like to make it clear that I think very highly of you, and I'm very sorry for any part that I might have played in what I thought was a nice, jolly, practical joke, but I don't know where Tiara is, and it sounds like things are blowing up very hardcore.
Clearly. All right, well, we were on our way to Yaerene's to gather our stuff and take it home. So at this point...
Might I reiterate, don't go to your house.
At this point, we should get our stuff and I guess find somewhere to stay.
By the way, Ryan, just as an FYI, I would have picked up all of Tempus's stuff that he deposited on the ground. I didn't just leave it there.
Sounds good.
And with that, Ysmyr's going to look around at the crowd and just try and figure it out.
What are you trying to figure out?
Can she also assume it's because of Tempus?
Yes. Yeah, there are angry mutterings in the crowd about Tempus killing clerics of Sharrow.
The city was just under attack, and you all should be home with your families, being grateful that you are still here. I suggest you go home, and keep in mind it was a god that attacked the temple.
A woman dressed in dark clothes pipes up. Is that a threat?
I said suggest.
And the crowd looks like they're... Well, let's do some checks. That sounded like persuasion to me.
Not very much.
The woman in dark leather says, I don't think we're going nowhere. After all, there's a killer in that jail, and we want to see some justice. And the rest of the mob says, yeah, justice. Yeah, can't let him get away with that. Can't let him get away with killing.
Are you going to be running to the north to take care of the undead who killed? Start with them.
Well, what's someone like us supposed to be doing about that? We're just little people. We can't handle no armies. We can handle that guy. He tried to kill everybody.
Everybody, and where are you hearing this?
I had good sources. People who saw up by the temple. Yeah.
Really? Can you name them? Can you name your sources? Otherwise, as far as I know, it's just hearsay.
Sure I can. My friend Helena told me. She was there.
Who's Helena?
Oh, she was up at the temple. And some of the people in the crowd say, yeah, Helena. She was playing the song, telling us all about what happened. She sent us down here.
So you're all just listening to one person instigating violence?
Give me a perception check, or not perception, persuasion. And the lady says, "Hey, ain't no violence here." And but the others realize that was pretty much the message in the song was, come down here and see justice. And they connect the dots that, yeah, maybe they shouldn't be here. They could get in trouble. They're still mad about Tempus killing the clerics, but they don't want to get in trouble with the law by taking justice in their own hands. So some of them start to disperse.
I understand your anger. This has been a trying time for everyone, and losing clerics is a scare none of us need. But trying to take your anger out on one person who's already in custody is not going to make anything better. There will be a trial. It will be dealt with. Go home and just trust that the council will deal with it readily.
You can't trust no politicians. These guys could be greasing their palms just to pay Tempus's way out. Can you give me an opposed persuasion check, please? But the council is generally pretty well liked in Nordgard and trusted. After all, they did come to join the defense of the city against the undead. And so the rest of the crowd disperses, muttering a little bit grumpily under their breaths, but they do leave.
Okay, when it seems like everyone's gone, Ysmyr will just kind of take a breath and look at the other two. So, ready to go?
Okay.
I will follow where you lead.
And with that, I think we'll go get our stuff and then find an inn.
Okay. You head over to Yuri's tower, and he waves open the gates, and there you find Chewie and all of your stuff.
Is there anything missing?
No.
Yay.
Is it carted?
Pardon me?
Does it have a cart?
No. Considering you thought Chewie died at the Gilded Snowflake Inn, and you saw your cart right there, it's surprised to see him at all.
Very happy to see him. Does he look undead?
Nope.
Excellent.
Yuri wouldn't happen to have a cart we could borrow, would he?
No, he doesn't. He's got a fancy wagon that he uses to ride around town sometimes. You could try to talk him into letting you borrow that.
Counselor, could we borrow your wagon just to get this to a different spot? Or would you rather we just wait until we come back with our own cart?
Well, I would prefer to not have people traipsing about in my cart and townsfolk assuming it's me in there.
All right. Well, we'll take what we can, but we'll have to come back later, I guess. We can take the mule if it's bothering you.
Yes, please. Its braying is so obnoxious.
All right, we'll take care of that and try and get as much out as we can.
Okay. So are you going to buy a new cart?
I think we'll have to.
Okay. A new cart will cost 15 gold pieces.
Okay, we'll pay that easily.
And yeah, you get Chewie hooked up to the cart and get all of your stuff out of Yuri's. Where would you like to go? The nearest inn is the Lock and Key.
Honestly, that's probably the easiest.
Okay.
And probably go there, ask for a couple of rooms and stable space for the mule and wagon.
Yes, an elven innkeeper greets you. Says, "Of course, we have room. It will be 2 gold pieces for the 3 of you for the night, and along with stabling for your mule."
All right, I'll pay that.
And he gives you each a key for a room upstairs.
All right, Ysmyr will at least make sure Chewie's settled and grab really important things from the wagon that she can carry and look at the other two. So, I guess settle in for the night. Maybe talk about what we're gonna do.
I suppose that's about all we can do. No real ideas on how to locate and or help both the other two.
Not at the moment.
Although I suppose there are no warrants on myself or Yaereene, we could probably get away with asking around to try and get more information.
Ysmyr kind of glances at Yaereene, but nods to Rhodes. Well, you're relatively unknown. That would help. It would be great if we could cut off these rumors, but there's no beating a whole city talking.
If anything, I'm sure most people won't recognize who I even am right now.
No, I suppose that's true. Yaereene, even if you don't want to talk to people, maybe you could listen around.
I can listen.
Listen, get some ideas of how we're going to get Tempus out of his mess.
Oh.
Short of that, all I know I can do is just, I don't even know.
How about you purchase yourself a nice bath, take some time to relax, and we'll reassess with you tomorrow with the information that we might have gathered tonight.
Yeah, sure. All right. Can't go out, can't do anything else, so all right. Let's do that.
Have yourself a nice stiff drink while you're at it. You probably need it by this point.
You have no idea. Oh, maybe you do.
I did promise some of my services at the temple to see if I could help any of the clerics that did live. I could possibly also ask there if anybody has stopped by or if they would know any information from the guards as well.
That would be a good idea.
Then if it's all right with the two of you, I'll take my leave and we will reconvene in the morning.
I can wander through the city. I'm not sure who specifically to ask, but I'm good at listening.
I would try listening.
You know, Yaereene, it seems like there's at least one bard going around, spreading at least one version of the story. She might drop details that we haven't been privy to yet if you can figure out who it is or where she might be.
Listen there.
Then I would say start with that.
Yaereene will go and try and find Helena and listen.
Well, you can choose a skill to use here. You can either try asking around, talking to people to see if they know where Helena is at the moment. That would be a persuasion check. Or you could just try general tracking skills. You could just try listening to if anybody's heard her singing recently with perception. What would you like to do?
Either tracking or listening. Definitely not speaking.
Well, you pick.
I'll start with listening.
Okay, give me a perception check. Yeah, so just listening to chatter in the Lock and Key Inn and pub downstairs. You do hear that Helena is actually supposed to be playing there later tonight. Apparently, she's been making her rounds through a couple of bars a night, and so she's starting off at the Blue Lock, and then will be making her way west to the Lock and Key, where you are now.
So maybe I'll head over to the Blue Lock.
Okay. And Rhodes, where are you planning on going?
Rhodes will probably head back to the temple, but if he sees any guards on the way there, he's probably just going to kind of inconspicuously ask, like, oh my gosh, what's been happening with the city, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, the guards for the city are pretty thin right now. So I'm gonna say high's bad. You don't see anybody. Yeah, you don't see any guards on the way to the temple.
Kate, then when he gets to the temple, he's going to try and glean what information he can from the people he is helping out and the people he is helping alongside.
So we'll go with Yaereene first because the Blue Lock is closer. So Yaereene, you get to the pub and inn, and what are you going to do?
And listen.
Or anything in particular?
Any news of any of our party? Basically, anybody saying anything about any of us.
Okay, give me a perception. So the crowd here is quite lively and loud. You're having a hard time picking out individual details of conversations, and certainly you don't hear anything about your party until a hush falls over the crowd, and you see Bard take the stage, and she begins to sing a series of songs, starting off with Gorold the Great, which is a real crowd pleaser. Everybody loves it. And between songs, she talks a bit about the good work that the soldiers of Nordgard have done and the city guard, and she's really building them up as heroes after the attack of the undead. And closer to the end of her set, she starts singing songs of treachery and murder, and weaves in stories about Tempus assaulting the Temple of Sharrow, but the faithful of Sharrow managing to battle him off and throw him in jail.
Yaereene manages to stay silent because she's good at silent.
Okay.
So that's of Tempus. Nobody else was commented on?
No, nobody else was commented on. Just Tempus.
And is Geralt there tonight too?
No, you don't see Gorold there.
Can I do an insight to figure out why she is so determined to make Tempus a villain?
I'm not sure if that would just be a skill check that you could do to figure out her motives. I'm going to say no. I don't think that would fit in this case.
Okay, can I change my request?
Sure.
Can I use insight to see if it's personal?
Certainly. It's personal.
Okay. I also am going to start listening to see what people are saying about her and how they're responding to her message. Both, I want to figure out anything about her background to see if I can figure out why it might be personal. And So, i.e., what connections she has to people. And I also want to see how receptive people are to her message.
People are fairly receptive to her message. Her playing ability is extraordinary. You believe that she is as good as KTR is playing her instrument up there and singing. Like, she's got a beautiful voice, and she has a very strong personality, very forceful. And you get the sense from the crowd that they appreciate her songs and appreciate her updating them with news from around the city, because not all of them have heard these stories yet. So they're happy to know that Tempus has been found and thrown in jail, because they mentioned that it's been days that the city has been worried about him coming and killing all of the followers of Sharrow and leaving them defenseless against the undead. And so they're relieved that he's jailed. Does that answer all of your questions?
Did I hear anything about her personally, her connections to things?
You do hear a couple of rather rowdy, drunken people in the corner talking about how they've seen her and Gorold hanging together at various inns and stuff, sharing a room, that sort of thing.
Gotcha. So that seems like at least one possible reason why it would be personal.
Yeah.
I think that answers all my questions.
The hussy.
Anything else?
Not right now, thank you.
Okay. So you do see that she packs up her stuff and leaves the Blue Lock and is escorted by another woman who, although human, kind of reminds you of Tempus in the way she carries herself.
Gotcha.
And Rhodes, you get to the temple and start healing some of the injured paladins who survived Tempus's attacks, and they're extremely grateful for your services.
So I think I'm going to find somebody that I knew and had a good rapport with when I was with the temple and heal them first, because I did recently convert and I don't know how this is going to go over.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem. The Among the paladins, you're particularly well liked because of your spirited approach to combat, shall we say?
I could see how he would have a little bit of a reputation, yes.
Yep, that's no problem to find somebody that you know and like, and offer them aid.
So I'm assuming the spell works. Like, would I notice anything different over Tempest versus Sharrow? Would I know if it's one god or the other?
Well, given that you prayed to Tempus, it would make sense that the power is coming from Tempus, and you don't notice any difference in the way your the spell works.
And I don't notice like a difference in how like the paladin reacts, or if the paladin notices that it's not Sharrow's power.
Nope.
Perfect. Then I keep healing. And I'm probably going to ask the paladins as I go if they've heard anything from the guard or outside of the temple.
Recently, the commander of the armies did come back to the temple to ask how people are doing and to check on Counselor Horace Demleen.
So I'm going to ask, I guess whoever is giving me the answers, that there was mention of the Archbishop wanting to heal Horace from when I had first popped by. And I'm going to try and find more details out about that.
Okay. The Archbishop is a powerful cleric of Sharrow and does have the ability to cast a spell to bring back the dead, but he needs to prepare it for the morning, and does have a diamond on hand that he'll be able to use to bring back the counselor.
And I don't suppose there's any word from any, like, would there be any guards that have also come by for healing?
Not recently, no. Word has gotten out in the city that the clerics are tapped out and don't have any ability to heal anymore.
So I think Rhodes is going to kind of, stop before he's empty and ask if there are any guards who are in need of healing that he can go travel to and offer healing to.
Yeah, they recommend going to the nearby army barracks and or the city guard barracks south of the market.
Perfect. Rhodes will head towards the city guard barracks.
Okay, Yaereene, where are you headed after gathering your information?
Is there a spot that the nobles, are there taverns that the nobles would go to in the evening?
Yes, the Gilded Snowflake. Up.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I will go there and listen.
Okay. On your way there, you do run into Rhodes.
And I share absolutely everything I just found out, including the fact that Helena is dating Gerald and that I'm headed to the Gilded Snowflake.
Oh, Ryan,
Yeah.
you're an evil, evil DM setting me up like that. And now I can be quiet again for a while.
Yeah, that was quite the interesting time there.
yeah, you just.
You kind of talked yourself into that hole too.
Oh yeah, he just gave it all up. He's like, here's all of the evidence you need that this is going down exactly the way that you think it is.
Mm-hmm. I had no idea that this be called an act of terrorism, and I should have twigged to that when he said it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Bran Coulson used to be so cool. Like, all it took was Yaereene crying and he was willing to delay justice previously. But, one little act of terrorism and now the fun train stops.
Yaereene caught you up on everything that she learned, Rhodes, and also let you know she was headed towards the Gilded Snowflake.
Perfect. Rhodes will wish her well and keep on his way towards the city guard barracks.
Okay. So Yaereene, you get to the Gilded Snowflake.
Gonna do the same listening thing. See what the nobles are saying about everything. And in particular, I'm also listening for what they're saying about Ysmyr. And I'm listening for any word of my family just because I can't help it.
Yep. You go to step into the Gilded Snowflake and are greeted at the door. And they recognize you and say, Miss Dowreth, would you like to get into your evening attire rather than this
That would be lovely.
Oh, excellent. We'll bring you to your room then. And they take you upstairs and give you a total makeover. And once again, you look like a princess. And you can join the other nobles in the main room.
And she will, unsurprisingly, being rather quiet, she'll take a side chair, nowhere where people might notice her. She's looking for a spot where she can listen.
So are you actively trying to be stealthy or just taking a position where people might not notice you?
She is being herself. Nobody ever notices her. So she is not actively trying to be stealthy. She is being exactly like she is all of the time, which means that in general, she's completely overlooked.
All right, that's fair. Okay, give me a perception check. You do hear mention of your parents, specifically your father, because he was, as they are saying, instrumental in helping in the defense of the city against the undead, while other noble families kept their guards around their manors to protect the manors in case the undead stormed their individual walls. He lent his house guards to the efforts to hold off the undead and provided additional arms and armor and supports to the army. And there is some subtle talk that they are considering making him a counselor with the city.
Cool. She's pleased at hearing that, both at hearing that her father actually protected the whole city instead of just his people, and pleased for him to be getting some recognition. So,
but as for your party members, you don't hear any chatter about them at all. Everything that's being talked about here is regarding the nobility in the city, the noble class, and how the battle of the city affected them.
well, that's why I was wondering about the queen rumor, so.
Right. It doesn't. If they've heard about it here, they're not taking it seriously enough to talk about it. You would have to actively engage them on the topic to find out more about that.
Oh no. I shall listen for longer though.
That's about all that you pick up. There's no more mention of your party. Rhodes, you get down to the city guard barracks.
Perfect. He'll probably just walk in and announce that he is there to offer what little healing he can while he still has the stores to do it.
Okay. So you make your way in. There's nobody really upstairs right now. There's one person who says most of the guards are down in the jail right now, making sure that the prisoners don't escape. And there may be some injured people down there.
I don't suppose you would allow me the permission to go down to the jails and attend to the wounded?
Certainly.
Perfect. If you could just direct me which way I should go to help those in need of aid, I would be very much grateful.
Yeah, you head downstairs, and they mention that most of the more injured guys are sitting around a table playing dice, recovering from the battle of the day.
So Rhodes is going to make his way over and have a seat at the table and kind of give the same spiel, just say that he's a cleric that has a bit more healing left in him before the day is out, and he would love to tend to the wounded who may need help.
So this is the table of injured guards that you find. They all appear to be in various states of injury. One of them looks really rough. He's got a big bloody bandage over his chest, and you can see it visibly pains him to roll the dice on his turn.
You aren't looking so great after the day's events, friend. Would you be in need of some aid?
Oh yeah. I went to the Temple of Sharrow, and they said all the clerics were out of the ability to heal. So if you've got anything, that would be great, because the alchemists are all out of healing potions too.
I can't offer much, but I do have a spell or two left that might be able to ease your pains.
One of the guys who's got a scratch and his armor's a bit dented says, "Don't worry about me. You do those two."
So I'm assuming I'm used up like all of my spell slots except for a couple with the healing I've been doing.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna say I have 2 first level spell slots left to give each of them a nice cure wounds.
Okay. They're both extremely appreciative. And you see that their wounds close up entirely with the spells, and they're looking like they're in perfect shape now. They're extremely thankful.
So Rhodes is just going to help himself to a seat now that he has established himself some rapport with that healing spell. And he's just going to be like, "So what all happened out there? I've been getting such little tidbits and pieces. I heard there was a half orc arrested, and there's a warrant out for someone else's arrest. What happened today?"
Oh yeah, you just missed Bran. He came down here, and oh man, was he ever mad? He's been sitting outside Ysmyr's place, waiting for her all day. He's left a couple of guards posted there, but he needed to get some sleep. I mean, he's looking dead on his feet from all the fighting with the undead earlier, and then the mess with that half orc. Oh, it's just a disaster.
That's very terrible to hear. They didn't apprehend anyone at the house at this Ysmyr's house, did they?
Yeah, they did. There was that guy who I don't know his name, but he basically admitted to everything. That's the easiest arrest old Bran ever made.
Oh, what did he admit to?
Well, he admitted to funding the terrorist efforts of that half orc that's also got thrown in jail. Yeah, it was he he just and the gall of the guy. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll pay for all of the stuff that guy used." It was amazing the way Brand told it. He's got such a sense of humor, that guy.
Rhodes actually is going to laugh because despite the severity, it actually is kind of funny that Katira set himself up for that. So his laugh is genuine.
Okay.
And he's just gonna shake his head and reach over for the dice to join in the game. And he's gonna ask, so what's the plan for the pair of them then?
Oh, there's going to be a trial. I don't know when. Might be a while. Got to get the council together. Treason is a pretty serious charge. So I imagine they're going to have to find old Grizz first. And he hasn't been seen for a while. Got to send someone up north to the Druid Grove to go find him. And once they've got the council together, then they'll do the whole trial thing. And I mean, there's no way these two are getting off. Everybody saw what the half orc did, and like he openly murdered a whole bunch of clerics, which is really awful and terrible for the city.
I just came from the
so-
temple. It is not a laughing matter. And like I'm
No.
just gonna like give the guard a bit of that scolding look, like, no, you shouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, no, he stopped laughing as soon as he started talking about that and went very somber.
Okay.
But but then when he talks about KTR again, he's kind of smirks. It's just like, and that guy, I mean, basically funding a terrorist. They have the coins that he paid one of the merchants as evidence, and the merchant's testimony. Like, he is screwed. What was he thinking?
Oh, he seems like a very genuine fellow to admit things so openly and freely like that. I don't suppose you know what their verdicts would be once the trial is done, would you?
Oh, you can't know that until the trial's over. But given all the evidence against him, I imagine they're both going to be put to death.
That would make a lot of sense. Yes. And Rhodes is kind of going to get up and brush himself off and be like, well, as you can imagine, I, like many of the clerics in this city, have about reached my limit, and it is about time I retire. Is there anything else I can do for you gentlemen before I step away?
No, we're good. Thanks for checking on us. Thanks for the healing. That's amazing. And yeah, see you around sometime.
Of course. Take care, gentlemen. And hopefully before our friend, whose name I forgot, comes back, Rhodes is going to make a very tired departure, because he also probably at his limit as well.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
So yeah, with that information, Rhodes is going to head straight back to the inn to meet up with Ysmyr and Yaereene.
Okay. In the jail, Tempus. How are you doing? Been in here for a while now.
Well, having woken up from my brief nap, just quickly going through my cell. Like, looks pretty small. Little, like, just sort of square box that I'm in. Nothing really noticeable except for the big wooden door.
That's right. You're in a 5x10 cell.
And the door. Big, heavy wooden thing.
Yep.
Looks pretty reinforced, I imagine.
Yep.
I would like to knock on the door and hail a guard.
Yeah, guard says, quiet down in there.
Excuse me, but I would like to go and sit with that elf that you have locked up, Katiara.
No can do. I was given orders just to sit out here and make sure you guys don't get out of those cells. I'm not about to go letting prisoners wander around.
No, I don't want to wander around. I want to go sit with him, please.
Why?
Well, because he is my friend. I have wronged him terribly with the actions I undertook, and I wish to apologize.
Give me a persuasion roll. Oh my god. Okay, so this city guard is super stupid. I see. Well, that sounds nice enough. You promise you're just going to go in there? You're not going to cause any funny business?
Yep, no funny business from me, I promise.
All right. He unlocks the door and unlocks KTR's cell.
And I will proceed neatly into KTR's cell and close the door behind me.
Tempus?
Hey, KTR, how's it going?
So, damn, you're banged up, man.
Nah, it's okay. I got into a bit of a scrap with Gorold and his gang. They're pretty tough. I shouldn't have tried to take them all on my own.
I reach out, tap you on the shoulder without you realizing I also cure wounds.
Well, thank you.
Well, I tell you, that bard is a snake, and that Gorold is an evil, twisted mofo.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, but they really don't matter. Like, none of this right here matters. What matters is out there in the heavens, and Katiara, I'm very worried. I know what that voice was, and I just knowing what's out there, I can't help but be very, very concerned. So I would like you to do me a favor.
I'll try.
I want you to deny your connection to me. I want you to just throw me to the wolves. I want you to completely deny that you knew that it was me that you were referring to when they arrested you. You need to be free so that you and Ysmyr stand a chance of stopping Dowreth.
It's too late for that, Tempus.
Nope.
They're swearing testimony. And it's not just one person. It's a frickin' crowd. And the problem is I thought that I was doing the right thing to pay for the things to try and get you less in trouble. And like a damn fool, I didn't listen to them. I love my voice so much. So I'm...
Katiara, I know all of that, and I know that we're in a tight spot, but there's more important things happening out there. With the god Dowreth walking the plains, you need to get to Ysmyr and do whatever you can to get the people out of this city into safety.
But how will they survive? There's a need for food. There's a need for agriculture. And if you remember, the frickin' undead were poisoning and destroying all the fields, so you can't scavenge.
Well, I mean, the clerics were going to start cleaning up as much as they could after our little kerfuffle, but people are going to have to just take what they can carry and move. I mean, the goblins could probably help with scavenging, but you all need to evacuate. That voice, Dowreth himself, is coming.
But how?
I don't know.
Who is going to be his vessel? I mean, you are Tempus's vessel, but who is enough of a ninny to... Oh, the Archbishop could be the frickin' ninny.
No, he's a servant of Sharrow, but the only thing that could have possibly spoken in everyone's minds like that, it had to have been a god. Dowreth is here, and we have to stop him.
Aye, and we need you as part of the group, but we are in a right pickle. I don't know how we're going to get around it, especially with that damn Gorold. Tempus, you do know I love you as if you were me own son, but damn it, I don't know what we're going to do. We're in it. We're in it bad, and it doesn't matter if I throw you under the bus, because there's enough witnesses for what I said that it would take a miracle for me to be able to convince a court, especially a court that's going to be as biased as it is with all that damn singing of Gorold the Great, to think that you're an evil son of a bitch. And then, I just don't know. I fear that if we come to trial in this town, we're screwed.
I am here because Ysmyr told me that she wanted me to be here.
Yeah, and that's because Ysmyr thinks we can get a fair trial. I think she's embracing justice a wee bit too hard for the way this city is.
Well, I don't know about that, but I betrayed her. I betrayed the warband, and worst of all, in doing so, I failed. I might have been able to try and make up for it all if I had managed to convert the clerics, but I failed, and I lost Tempus, and now I have nothing. But I will surrender to Ysmyr's will. If she wants me here, this is where I will stay.
I slap him, and I say, don't you ever say you have nothing. You don't have nothing. You've got me, you've got Ysmyr, you got Yaereene, for God's sakes, and you got that damn who seems to like copying you, Rhodes. We're all with you, and we all back you, even when you're a 9-hammer ninny like you have been. And you know what? I'm glad Tempus is gone, big Tempus, because he was making you do stuff that even you didn't want to do. Yes, it's a loss of great power, but also at the same time, a lot of this issue is because of big Tempus, not you. You get me?
I get you, but you're not really listening to me. Like, none of this matters, Katiara. There is a dark god coming, and you need to get the people of the city out. Like,
We do. But
I-
we're not going to do it by me throwing you under the bus. I may have put myself in a spot that I can't help. And I don't think me throwing you under the bus is going to save me. And honestly, Tempest, I hate to admit it, but you're right. If I thought throwing you under the bus would do it, I'd do it because I'd come back and save you after. But I don't think it'll do it. I have been listening. I understand your argument, and it's very good. The problem is it's based on a false premise, which is, one, it's possible to get a fair trial in the city for somebody that is linked to you, and second, that they'll listen to me saying, "Oh no, what 3 city guards and 10 other non-involved witnesses heard me say was incorrect. They're lying. I'm telling the truth. Will work." And then I just kind of crumple, put my head in my hands, and then I look up and I say, "I'm not ignoring you." And then I'm just quiet.
well, you know what you have to do. Get out of here by hook or by crook, and I would like to knock on the door again.
Okay.
I get up and I give him a hug.
Are we in the middle of a hug when the door opens?
Yes. I can give you guys another minute if you want.
No. It's just a hug. It's not anything else.
Hadn't realized it was a conjugal visit.
You got the wrong elf. He's not who I was expecting, and he's innocent. You should let him go.
Oh, well, let the counselors figure that out. It's not my job. Above my pay grade.
Oh, for pity's sake, get here, you idiot, and I'm gonna grapple the guard.
Tempest, that's a bad idea.
Shut up. Get running.
Oh, son of a bitch. I can't make it through here with everybody.
You grapple the guard, and he's calling out for help.
Oh, for pity's sake.
Stop.
Tempest, let go of him.
Katiara, shut up, quit arguing, and run.
Of course, this is after Rhodes left too, isn't it?
Of course it is.
So you guys can roll initiative whenever you're ready.
Oh, son of a...
All right, Tempus, it's your turn.
My cell door's still open?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wheel the guard inside, throw him into the cell, and slam the door shut behind him, holding it closed, so that I can wheel on Katiara and say, "Okay, in the hubbub, I need you to go on and get out of here. Get word to Ysmyr. Tell her about Dowreth. Like, seriously, I don't care about their trial. I'll die if they want me to, but Dark God."
That's way more than 6 seconds of chat, but I think you got the point across.
All right.
All right, KTR, it's your turn.
Yay?
You're still standing in your cell with the door open. What are you going to do?
Okay, I come out. I rip Tempest by the shoulders just to hold him, and then I cast a 3rd level sleep.
Okay.
Hey, Katiara, notice you're at full health, yeah?
Yep.
How about you drop that radius for the sleep first, and then tell me how much health you have at full?
No.
How much health do you have at full there, Richard?
41.
Oh, you just beat me, you lucky duck.
So is that where you're placing the spell is centered on Tempus?
Actually, I'm offsetting so that it's not on me because I just want to make the other guards go to sleep and think they just passed out or something.
So like that more? It'd have to be centered on the guard. Like that so that it's just on Tempus and not you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Would have been better if you knocked yourself out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not quite that stupid. So that's 9d8. Ooh, that looks pretty decent.
That is not enough. And as you cast a spell, you hear a couple of guards crumple in the hall, and the one in the cell as well. And the remaining hit points aren't enough to bring Tempus down.
God damn it. Tempest, you need to go back in your cell and me go into ours. I can't make it through here. And that's my 6 seconds.
So when do they wake up?
Ooh,
Oh, a duration of a minute. Okay. And there's no save on it.
no, it's just straight up start with the lowest and keep going up. Shouldn't have passed it that far back. I should have put it just on me and him. Oh well.
Guard comes running out into the hall and sees his companions asleep on the floor. He put 2 and 2 together and says, "They're using spells on us. Try to escape. Quick, go tell Bran."
Oh, for God's sake. I hear him, obviously.
Yeah, you hear him. So one of the guards has run away. Tempus?
That's great, Katiara. I'll clear a path to the exit before I surrender. And hefting my blade, I will go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
I'm doing a reaction to try and grapple him.
Do you have a reaction that lets you just grapple people willy-nilly?
Well, he can use a reaction when you leave his threat space for an opportunity attack, and I think he could use it to grapple, since you can replace an attack with a grapple. So, sure.
You're probably going to beat me, but I got to play the long chance right here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you just can't keep a good half orc down. Tempus gets out of your grapple, no problem, and charges down the hall.
Bippity boopity, this guard is getting a whackity on the headity.
Are you doing lethal or non-lethal?
Wait and find out, fam. Reckless attack.
13 is a hit, so you do 6 damage, and he goes down.
Oh, nice. Well, then in that case, I will then take 5 feet of movement there, and no, I'm not dead. I'm declaring it now. I'm knocking him out. I can do that.
Okay. I was just marking him as dead with a skull when you said that.
Stepping up and hitting the next one in line. Come one, come all. Here comes a reckless attack.
Oh, with the Great Sword of Vengeance?
They let me keep it.
Yeah, no, I just realized that. I saw both attacks. Yeah, he goes down.
Knocking him out. And, oh, geez, I've hold on. I think that's only 35 feet, so I take one more step into this guy's threatened zone, and that's my turn.
He's unconscious. He's not. Oh, man! He crits you upside the head with his club, and you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'll just smile at him and say, "You're gonna need more police brutality than that, lad."
Oh, my accent's catching.
All right, Katiara, your turn.
Oh my God. All right. So if I do a performance on my loot, that's an action, isn't it?
Yep.
I just critted, and I want to give both me and Tempus the bonus for my loot of speed.
So that's an extra 10 feet of movement on your turn?
Yep. So I can move in there, and I could move in with Tempus, but that'd put me 5 over. And when I get to Tempus, I'm like, "Tempus, you damn fool! We got to get back to our cells. This isn't going to solve anything." That's my 6.
Okay. And that guard runs up the stairs.
Tempus will try to put another guard to sleep.
Tempus succeeds. There are now no more awake guards.
Do I remember the way that they brought me into this prison?
Yep.
Where's the exit thereabouts? Would you ping it on the map for me?
To the west.
To the west. Okay.
That room has the stairs.
Can I grab Katiara and drag him with me as we go?
You just attacked. So you could use a grapple as part of your multi-attack.
Awesome. I'm grabbing Katiara. Katiara, are you resisting? Don't resist. Just let it happen.
Least you could do is buy me a drink first. Yeah, I'm not going to resist.
Great. How far? I think my movement's cut in half, so I'll drag him and pop
Don't
him in
forget you
front
get
of
the
me.
extra 10. I'm still playing.
Oh, sweet. I'll drag him to there and pop him in front of me right there, saying, okay, go. It's that way. Go. And that's my turn.
I turn around to Tempus and I say, "Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. You're coming along with me, you damn ninny. If I'm breaking out, you're breaking out too. Are the stairs here?"
Yeah, that's the bottom of the stairs over there.
So that's where I end up.
Okay. Anything else on your turn?
No.
So I'm going to run after Katiara up to a certain distance, and then I'd like to grab that table and jam it into the hallway, just doing what I can to create as much wreckage, refuse, and as much of a barricade as I can. Am I able to do that? Would you like a roll from me?
No, that's fine. You're plenty strong. You just slam that table in there and make a giant mess.
Okay, and then I'm going to yell, Katiara, I can't leave. Ysmyr said that she wanted me here, and so here is where I will stay.
And Ysmyr would want me here too.
No, she wouldn't. She never said that. My turn's over.
Chief Bran Coldson comes down the stairs after being summoned by the guards and says, Trying to escape the prison, eh? There won't be a jailbreak today. You can either go back in your cell or die here.
Is he waiting for a response from us?
No. Katiara, he attacks you with a 22, which I assume hits, so you take 12 slashing damage.
Yes, I do.
And a 10 probably misses.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, the first one was 12 damage?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. And there's no way I can slide around him up the stairs. He's just blocking the entire way, right?
Yeah.
All right. I make a big show of being struck as like, Tempus, surrender! And I fall down looking like it's been a mortal blow.
Okay. That's a pretty reasonable performance. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Tempus, this guard comes down the stairs and heaves a hand axe at you, but misses.
I am Tempus Twiceborn. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And I will expend my last rage to fly into a rage and start killing Bran Coldson.
That's a miss.
Thank God.
That's a hit.
And now I'm raging. That's my turn.
Okay. Oh, KTR, you crumpled to the ground and basically gave up. He's not going to attack you. Forget that
Yeah.
fate roll. He's going after Tempus. Does a 14 hit Tempus?
It does. My AC without my armor is 13.
God damn it.
It is a magical weapon. Does that go through your rage, or is it just all damage gets halved?
No, as a PC barbarian, all damage gets halved. I'm just fancy like that.
Okay, so you take 3 slashing damage.
Noted.
And another 4 slashing damage as he hits you with both attacks.
Okay.
All right, Keitiara.
I stand up and I say, Tempus, I was trying to get you to give up, you damn ninny. Bran, there's no need to fight anymore. Just get the two of us back in the damn cell.
He's not going in the cell. He came to fight me.
So he's not going to listen to me. He's in his version of a rage.
Well, I mean, Tempus just ran at him and attacked him. So I don't think he thinks you're speaking for Tempus.
Tempus, stand down. Tempus, stand down. I don't want you dead. I don't have a hand on any weapon or anything.
Now, are you counting as a combatant that this guy can't move through your space? Because you stood down.
I stood down, but I'm still physically there.
Yeah, so he can't just go through your space. He'll attack Tempus from there. And misses.
I will say that because I was making reckless attacks, that is an advantage.
Oh, right, I forgot. Then you take 2 bludgeoning damage as he whacks you with his club.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Tempus, your turn.
Okay. Let's have one more attack, reckless again, at Bran.
That's a hit for 14.
One more reckless attack at Bran.
Crit.
And down he goes.
Okay. I think that even counted all of my... Yeah, it counted my savage crit perfectly. Okay, yeah. Knocking him unconscious. Katiara, you're lucky you stood back up. So yeah, he's knocked out. That's my turn.
Jesus Christ. You are making this so difficult. Okay, the one that's there, I hate this because I'm whipsawing. Yeah, I try and knock him out, with a non-lethal attack. Now, my longsword is the longsword of wounding, but if I use the pommel instead of the blade, I can hit him and not make it, the wound.
Sure.
Did they let Katiara keep his weapons?
I didn't hear them say they were taking them.
Yeah, I didn't say that any weapons were taken. I probably should have, but I didn't.
Sloppy guards.
Yep.
I miss.
Ysmyr wasn't there to yell at them.
Oh, just rolled over from the 20. Damn.
Anything else in your turn?
I'd really suggest that we stand down, Tempus.
From an outsider perspective, I'm just gonna say you're almost through. Like, commit.
We don't know what's upstairs.
Katiara, he takes a swing at you and misses and moves to stop you guys from moving up the stairs.
Well, Tempus lowers his blade and says, Katiara is right, I surrender. No, that's not actually what happens. Instead, I'm just going to... I don't really have a sheath or anything. I stripped naked in the street. I'm going to toss my greatsword at Katiara, saying, hold this for me. And then I'm going to tell the guard, congratulations, son, you're joining the Marines. Going to grapple him, please.
Yeah, you grapple him. 26 versus 5.
So over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes, or in my arms like a princess, and we are going up the stairs with him.
Okay, you head upstairs, and there's nobody else up there. It's empty now. It's getting late in the day. All the other guards have gone home to sleep.
Okay, we don't need a hostage. I'm just going to bash his head against a door jamb until he's unconscious.
Okay.
And since we're out of combat, I'm going to turn back to Katiara and say, Katiara, are you sure that Ysmyr doesn't want me to stay here to be executed?
Yes, she's mad at you, and she doesn't realize this is going to be a fixed trial. So, if I'm wrong, let me be the one that's wrong, but I want you with me. And I come up the stairs.
Do you promise that Ysmyr would rather have us escape?
That I can't say.
Well, then I should stay. She wanted me in prison. You shall escape.
No, then both of us should stay. I say we either both flee, and if Ysmyr gives us any we go north and we go and deal with Dowreth ourselves.
Katiara, this is literally the fate of the world. Like, seriously, my only way out of this is obeying Ysmyr, and she put me in jail. You were not put in jail by Ysmyr. You need to go save the world.
Ysmyr would have put me in the flippin' jail if she had known what I said.
And are you sure that she would want me to escape with you?
If you stay here, I stay here. If I leave, you leave. That's it.
It's not my choice. It's Ysmyr's. You're speaking for her now. Do I stay or do I go?
Stay.
Oh, well that wasn't what I was expecting, but all right. Let's head back to our cells, I guess.
No, let's run.
You guys are hilarious.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Kill everybody or knock everybody out in the entire place and then go
Yeah.
see yourself.
Yeah, she
Let's
wants
just-
you both to go up for execution, of course.
Let's just walk over the bodies and quietly tuck ourselves back in the cells. Maybe no one will know. Who's gonna know? How would they know?
The last place you'd look for them.
All the guards wake up in 60 seconds looking at each other, and they're like, oh, it was a dream.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
A bunch of them might think it's a dream, but not Brandon, the one that tossed the axe. All right, Tempus, you frickin' silver-tailed dog. Let's flee. Let's flee. I don't think Ysmyr wants you dead, but everybody else here does. So let's go.
Okay, then we escape into the city. Woohoo!
Oh, you guys, this has been entertaining.
Oh my word! I don't think I've had a more emotional, draining session for a while.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
You guys step out of the city guard barracks and see a familiar face standing in the streets, fiddling with his sword, looking at you with a nasty grin. Says,
Gorold?
word from the guard I heard yelling in there. Sounds like there's a prison break.
Okay, we're not in combat right now.
Nope, it's just talking to you.
Gorold, you should probably clear on out of here before the city loses its hero. See ya.
Oh, On the contrary, I think you guys are heading back to prison. Tempus, as you walk by, I'm going to throw you guys all in combat.
Of course you are. And do we move back, or are we in, or is this the situation?
Oh, you guys start moving away, and then combat begins. Yeah, I didn't actually prepare these guys for combat because I wasn't expecting them to be in combat, but they are now. So great.
Quite frankly, Ryan, if all you need is like, don't worry too much about equipment, just give them an attack stat because I am not fighting, I am running.
Okay, Katiara, I believe
Yep.
the 23 hits, and you take 6 slashing damage.
Yes, I do. And
And does a 16 hit?
yes.
You take an additional 9 damage.
Okay.
He hits you with his offhand for -4, so 3 damage, 3 piercing damage.
I think I'm about to go down here.
And he hits you again for an additional 6 slashing damage.
So both Pat and Gorold got on me before I could do anything, or anybody
Well,
else.
Gorold's the only one who's acted so far. He got first in initiative.
4 hits?
Yeah, he used his action surge to get an additional attack.
Ah, gotcha.
Fighters are dope.
Not so much when you're on the other end.
So I believe that was enough damage to drop you, eh, Katiara?
Nope, I'm still up.
So you take an additional 7 piercing.
It's enough to put me down, but not enough my hit points and kill me outright.
Right. All right, Tempus.
So KTR's been knocked out behind me. I'm gonna grab him and I'm gonna run with him. Now I believe if you're grappling a creature, it cuts your movement to half. Do you count this as me grappling him, or am I carrying him like a bundle?
That's a good question. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, because you're not grappling per se, because there's no resistance at all. So I guess you would just pick them up as a bundle. KTR, you had the loot in your hands, right?
Yeah, and obviously getting smacked like that, I would think that I'd let it go unless you say that there's a percentage.
No, you're unconscious, so you would have dropped whatever's in your hands. So the loot clatters to the street.
I would need to be awake to do the speed bonus anyways, and I'm not.
It's all good. We're about to solve it because with a mighty meep meep, blah, 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 Tempus is going to grab Katiara and take off. That's 40 feet that I can go with just one movement, and then I'm going to dash my way right off the map, leaving the loot behind. Sorry, Katiara. You can get it back from Helene later.
Well, I still have my panpipes around my neck, so.
Okay, so that's as far as you moved?
That's 80 feet. That's as far as I can get while dashing, yeah.
Katiara, can I get a death save?
I don't want to, but yeah. Okay, so 1 failure.
Oh, and that's a bad roll too. High's bad. I'll roll for that later.
Sweet mother effing Christ.
Tempus, a crossbow gets fired in your general direction, but misses. Gorold doesn't have any ranged weapons, so he yells out, "Tempus, there's nowhere you run that I can't find you. Get back here!" And a 12 misses, because you said your AC is 13. So Nick fires off a shot with his bow, and it doesn't hit.
You'll have to work for it, sweetheart. Kiss my green. And I haul out of there with Katiara. Another 80 feet, taking me off the map.
I think that's problematic. Okay, so you are now 140 feet away from the guy with the bow, it should be a short bow, because he's a rogue.
So that's less range.
Yeah.
He's shooting at disadvantage now, isn't he?
The short bow is 83-20. So they're both going to be firing at disadvantage now. So I'm going to take another shot for both of them.
Do a death save.
Yep.
And I fail again, and there's another goddamn effect.
Oh, maybe. High's bad. Damn. Okay. So Tempus, I believe the 18 at disadvantage hit, but the 10 misses. So you take 8 points of piercing damage.
I have noted it. I have 10 hit points left.
Gorold has Well, he'll keep running after you, but he's definitely falling behind.
They'll get another shot at me a little bit closer because while I'm running, I'm not dashing this turn. Digging into KTR's pockets, using my action to interact with an object, he should have a healing potion that I'm going to feed to him.
I have 1 healing potion.
Take 8 points of healing, friendo, and again, I move 40 feet away from them, but not 80.
Okay.
Hmm.
So Gorold actually catches up a bit, but you're still like 90 feet ahead of him or something like that.
And like KTR isn't about to die, but assuming he doesn't resist, I'm just going to keep carrying him and freedom dash our way to glory. So I don't think Gorold is catching us. If you want to take a few more shots at me, go for it.
Yeah, I'll take one more shot for each of them and assume that you like get around a corner somewhere. You luck out, my friend. The 2 archers fail to bring you down, and you run to freedom.